Perfect. I think that's just about everyone who I expected has now joined. Um, so there are quite a few of you this morning, which is great. But I'm going to keep you all on mute and keep all your cameras off, especially as some people have asked for the recording afterwards as well. Just think that might be an easier way to do it. But there is a question and answer box, which you guys should be able to type in. So if at any point throughout the presentation you have any questions, please type them in the Q&A box, and hopefully we will have time to get to all of them at the end. Right, so the plan for today is I'm going to start with some ways to improve your shoot pages and go through dates and availability a little bit as well. And then we're going to get on to our new follow shoot feature, which will then lead on to some thoughts for planning ahead into next season. And we'll finish up with some questions at the end. Right, so to start with, I often use ride as a bit of a word to remind shoots about things to remember with a shoot profile. So you've got reviews, images, description, and event availability. And I'm going to go into each of these in a little bit of detail now. So reviews, I can't stress enough how important third-party validation is. We see a direct correlation between shoots that have over 3 reviews, positive reviews, and those that have the highest inquiries. So they're really, really important. And you can ask any gun to do a review, whether they've come through Guns on Pegs or not. And the way that you get a gun to do a review is by sending them a link. So you can find your own shoot link by going to your Guns on Pegs page. If you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see this box here. And then if you click on post a review, you will then be taken to a separate web page, and you can copy and paste the URL and then send it directly to Guns. Alternatively, if you're struggling with that, send me an email and I can send you your own sort of URL code. I know that some shoots send this to Guns as in sort of a follow-up email or a follow-up text after a day, and that can be a really good way just to get people to do it straight away afterwards, and works really well. Okay, so on the right-hand side here, we have some example images. These are images that you would want to have on your profile. So you want to have pictures of people enjoying the day, smiling, pictures of 11s, maybe 1 or 2 of people shooting. Dogs tend to do well as well, and maybe a picture or 2 of the landscape or topography. But it's really important that you, have people enjoying the day and smiling, because you sort of want Guns to look at these pictures and think, like, I want a day like that, or I want to have that experience that these people are having. Pictures of dead birds and poults tend to not do as well. And we really try and encourage shoots to have pictures with lots of people in and, like I said, enjoying the day. I often get asked about the quality of these photos, and as a general rule, I typically say that smartphone quality, an iPhone takes really good pictures these days, and they will be absolutely fine. Yes, it's lovely to have professional photos, and those are going to make your profile stand out a bit more, and we can recommend photographers if that's something that you're interested in. However, it's not going to be detrimental if you post, if you have pictures taken on a smartphone, that's absolutely fine. It's really important to mention that when you post a photo, it's going to appear here in the news and update section in the news feed, and also in an email to everyone who follows your shoot, like this. So Richardson Field Sport posted a photo, and then everyone who follows him gets an email saying, we have just posted 1 new photo. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail, so if that doesn't make sense right now, don't worry. Right, next is descriptions. So I'm going to go into 3 different shoots here. It might be helpful after the webinar to go and have a look at these descriptions, because I find it helpful to have examples of these things. So this video here is showing Mount Garrett's shoot page. I really like theirs because they update theirs every season. And I think you also get the personality of the shoot across in this description, which is quite rare. Brimsfield is another good example. They've got a lovely video on their profile as well, which I think helps and makes them stand out. And Downlands is a good example of a sim shoot. So I'd highly recommend having a look at theirs, especially if you are offering simulated game. Here on the left-hand side, we have a shoot description that I think could do with a bit of work. I often say to shoots, you're asking guns to spend quite a lot of money with you, and first impressions are really important. Some of these guns, maybe they haven't spoken to you on the phone or they haven't heard of your shoot before. So having a really good first impression, having as much detail as you can in the shoot description is important. As well, here it's worth noting there's a few spelling mistakes and grammatical errors, which as well are just something that's really simple and easy to change and to kind of give that right impression across. Okay, lastly, and arguably the most important, is dates and availability. I'm sure that lots of you guys have had your fair share of emails from me asking to, get your dates up, renew them, check that they're the right dates. And that is because they are so important. Dates is how people find your shoot. Typically, we see that people don't search for shooting. They, for a shoot, they search for dates, and that is then how they find the shoot. A little bit like if you were booking a holiday. So you'd say, I'm looking for shooting in Hampshire across December. What availability have you got? And that's typically how guns find shoots. So if you post a date, which you should all be familiar with this page here on the left hand side, again, if anyone is not, I'm happy to run through this individually another time. But if you post your date in this section here, it's then going to appear in several places. Firstly, it's going to appear at the bottom of your shoot page here. So you can see this date has posted 2 dates. They've got one on the 3rd of January, one on the 23rd of January. I'm sure you're familiar with this, but this is what guns see. They also appear in the news feed section, which is here. So this is an example. So Pilling Shoots posted 39 dates. That is then going to appear at the top of our news feed with a sort of section of examples. So including the 11th of December was an example. Okay, Richardson Field Sports. So this is an example of someone who follows Richardson Field Sports. We're going to go into this in a little bit more detail later, but let's say this user follows Richardson Field Sports. They then get an email every single time Richardson Field Sports posts a date. And finally, probably our most popular page on Guns on Pegs, or the most viewed page, and how people find shooting, is this search shooting page. So this, I've used Richardson Field Sports again here as an example. So people typically put in, I'm looking for shooting in December, what availability have you got? And Richardson Field Sports appears here because they have posted their dates. So that should be sort of a summary of the date section. But again, if anyone would like some more detail on that, please let me know and I can run through it individually. So follow shooting. I thought it would be helpful to show you guys what guns see before we go into the nitty-gritty of following and posts and how to make good shoot posts. So we created follow shooting about a month ago, or improved it really. And since then we've had 5,000 new follows. So we're really pleased with that. And it's a really good sign that it's working. So now when you log on to Guns on Pegs, you will see this pop up here, which encourages guns to find some shoots to follow. So we ask for their postcode and then show a list of relevant shoots to them. We also ask or show them shoots that we think they might be interested in. So these are shoots that this user has previously inquired to. So to keep up that engagement, we then suggest that they follow them. And finally, we ask if there's any specific shoots that they would like to follow. So what does following a shoot look like? So this is, if you are a gun and you're following a shoot, what you're going to see. So firstly, when you post in the news and update section as a shoot, it's going to appear here. So Shadwell shoot posted this picture and it's going to come up like that in the Guns on Pegs homepage. And secondly, you're going to get an email. So this is a video which should show the experience that someone would get if they follow, in this case, Willie Park and a hunt in Czech Republic. So Willie Park posted an update. So they'll come through in an email like this. And Hunt in Czech posted some dates. So that comes up in that format. And users get this email every single day or every day that someone posts a photo. So this user, for example, could follow 10 different shoots, but only 2 shoots posted an update that day, so they get an email. If no shoot were to post an update that day that they follow, then they wouldn't get an email. But that is what it looks like. So hopefully that is clear for you guys. So why did we create following? Well, firstly, we wanted to improve engagement from guns. We wanted guns to be engaged with a shoot, even if they were only shooting there maybe one day this season, or maybe they want to shoot there, but they can't afford to go this season. And maybe that's a bit of an aspirational shoot. So we wanted to keep them engaged with those types of shoots. Communication as well. We wanted shoots to be able to communicate with guns who were already interested in their shoot rather than marketing to the masses, so to speak. And it allows shoots to build relationships with potential guns and vice versa. We had some feedback from guns saying that they wanted to kind of remain in the know about these shoots that they were going to, even if they only visited once a year, they still wanted to have sort of updates from the shoot. Okay, how to make a post. So there are 3 different ways to make a post. Firstly, you as a shoot, so I'm logged in, this is a screenshot as if I was logged in as Shadwell Shoot. You can see on the home page here, it'll be, say, post as Shadwell Shoot, and you can post here. You can also post here, which is where you'll go to add your dates. And next to that, it'll say your update. So if you click on that, it'll take you to this page where you can post. And finally, you can also post on your shoot page. If you scroll right down to the bottom, it'll say news and updates, and you can post in there as well. And again, if anyone wants a hand with any of these, do let me know. I'm going to go through and give you guys some examples of posts. But before we do that, just as a general do's and don'ts, I think the key thing is to make them engaging and to add images, pictures, videos. I know some shoots are using ChatGPT to kind of help write their posts, and I would say that's absolutely fine. Do use it. And if anyone wants a bit of a hand on how to ask ChatGPT to write a shoot post or improve a shoot post, more than happy to talk through that. But yeah, do try and make them as engaging as you can. And that is really, it's really important that you try and keep engagement between people who follow and you as a shoot. As a general rule as well, we really don't need dates to be posted. So you'll see, but what we're trying to avoid is having a lot of text with date availability on, because as you saw previously, anyone following a shoot will get an email with every single day that they post. So it's not necessary to go forward and write all these dates out, but that'll become clearer as well. And also avoid putting contact details. This is partly to protect you guys, but also it's really useful for us to have a record of inquiries. Often emails end up in junk or someone's typed their phone number wrong. So if we've got a full list of inquiries, it's really easy for us to put people in touch. Okay, so here are some examples. I'm going to start with this one on the left. I've tried to hide which shoot it is, but you can probably work out yourselves who it is. I really, really like this post. It's engaging. They included a video at the end. It's not super salesy, and it worked really well. So they had 64 clicks directly to their shoot page from this, and then subsequently 3 inquiries off the back of it, which is it's exciting because it shows that it is all working and that this post here, it's not super salesy, but it's keeping people engaged and getting them excited about the season ahead. These two here could use a bit of improvement, I think. I don't know about you, but I find this top one really hard to read. And I don't, I find it hard to follow, and having the dates up there just isn't necessary because everyone following that page is going to get all of those dates written in an email anyway. This bottom one has tried to be a bit more engaging and it is better spaced out, but again, the dates just really aren't needed, and there's contact details in there as well. This one here, I like this one because I can see what they were trying to do, and I know that they did get some communication off the back of it. So this one here, all days now gone this season, but we're taking inquiries for next season's Syndicate Guns. Please contact us for further details and a tour of the shoot. What I think could have made this slightly better is maybe including a photo, maybe a review from a previous syndicate member, or maybe a picture of the syndicate or something like that, just to, again, increase engagement a little bit. This bottom one here, again, dates. This one on the left here, I did like because it had a photo, but again, I felt maybe, you know, how of previous days gone would have been nice in there as well. Okay, I'm gonna finish up now with some post suggestions. So I would really like to see some more posts about wildlife and conservation. It's something that Guns have told us is really important to them. So I think we could kind of meet that need if shoots were to kind of post about it, tell us updates. Another post I'll just highlight here, someone posted sort of an appreciation post for a beta that had been, you know, been working really hard, and there was a bit of a backstory there and a picture, and that was really nice. That got some really good engagement as well. Food related posts will do quite well, whether that's kind of a picture of 11s or a new recipe that a shoot's tried, something like that. Is bound to do well. Notable dates as well. So first day of the season, last day of the season, Pulse arriving, that sort of thing is what I would really suggest shoots post about. And looking ahead into next season, if you've spoken to me on the phone, I'm sure that I've mentioned to kind of get some dates up, even if you're not 100% sure on what those dates are yet, even if they're just potential dates that still need finalizing, get some dates up, because that is how people find you on our site. It's also helpful to familiarize yourself with what package you're on. I'm more than happy to chat through it with anyone, but do kind of keep us updated with, are you planning to shoot more this year, less this year? Is there anything that we can help with that? Because the more time that we have is always much more beneficial for everyone, because then we can advertise you for a longer period of time. We are also making some changes to our website. We have come up with some sim and international packages and prices, and we're doing a bit of a website update and refresh, and also changing the upload system as well. So when you guys go on to add a shoot or you go and edit a shoot page, that will all look different, hopefully a lot more user friendly. But also if there's anything that you guys would like to see or change, do let us know, because you're the ones using it, and it's really important to me that we kind of listen to what you have to say. Right, so I think that's probably enough of me talking. If anyone has any questions, please do write them in the box. There should be a Q&A box, I think, at the bottom. And do get in touch if you like. My email address and phone number is at the bottom there. Right, I'm just looking at some of these questions now. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. So this shoot asks, can I see who follows my shoot, and how do I see how many people follow my shoot? It's a really good question. I'll start with, can you see who follows your shoot? The answer to that, in essence, is no, because of GDPR laws and regulations. It's something that we're working on. If there's a way that we can not get around it, but just you have to sort of ask people whether they mind being seen and so on. I really think that it would be good if we could do this, because I think if shoots knew the people that were following them, maybe they would write something different, or it would perhaps change their perspective about what they were writing. So I'd really like to see that, and hopefully we'll get that sorted. And how can you see how many people follow my shoot? To answer that, if you go to your Guns on Pegs homepage or your shoot page, you'll be able to see it's in the left-hand side, and you should see the number there. This one says, is there a limit to how many photos you can upload? That depends on what shoot package you're on. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head now. I think gold is about 10 or 12, and silver's about 8, bronze maybe 5, around there. I really can't remember off the top of my head, but there isn't a limit to photos that you can post in the news and update section. So if you are on a kind of a basic or bronze package and want to post more photos, you can always do that in the news and update section. Okay, this one. I've noticed some shoots get to stay at the top of the newsfeed longer than others. Do I have to pay for this? To answer your question, no. So the way that our newsfeed works is a little bit like Facebook. So new posts will appear at the top, but our algorithm prioritizes posts that it thinks users will like more. So if your post has a video in, a photo in, with maybe some longer text, maybe has some emojis, it's going to stay at the top longer than a post which is simply 2 or 3 text messages. I've got, this question says, I've got some last minute pegs for December. Is this something I can put in the news and update section? Firstly, I would say if you've got some last minute pegs, put them in your dates, upload them as a date, firstly. Secondly, yes, post in the news and update section, but don't list the dates. Just say you've got some last minute availability for single pegs. Look at our Guns on Pegs web page to see them, or inquire to see them. And thirdly, let us know. We are doing something which is called sealed bids, which is for last minute availability. So that's sort of where we're potentially just working it out a little bit, maybe doing sort of a bidding for last minute shoot pegs. So do let us know, because it might be something that we can help with. And I think that is pretty much one more's just come through. This person asks, how do you go about selling dates for next season when I don't know what the dates we're going to be shooting next year yet? Yeah, totally understand that. I would say if you have a rough idea, even if you don't know the exact date, could you if you'll maybe do one the first 2 weeks of October, so put one date for October within that week, just to give people a rough idea. Obviously, as soon as you do know that date, put it in there. But if you can, it doesn't matter, especially this early on, it doesn't matter if they're sort of provisional dates, and you can put that in the description when you upload the date. You can say, we'll need to check. That's absolutely fine. Okay, does the same update of words appear in all of the 3 different places you said? I think I know we're asking that, and yes, it does. So the same with the pictures, how it appears in the email, in the news and update section, and in that news feed. It's exactly the same with words and pictures. So if you do a physical word post, it will appear in those 3 sections again. So the email, the news and update section, and the news feed. Yeah. Okay, and finally, the last question is, so as an African safari operator, what is the best way to offer packages, as we offer 7-day, 10-day, and 21-day packages. What's the best way to do this? Because we don't do single days. So we have a trip function. So you can say that you offer a shooting trip between this date and this day. It doesn't have to be single days. It's the same with any shoot. Some want to offer full weekends, back-to-back days. That's not an issue. You can put them through as trips rather than single days. Okay, I think that is everything. So I'm probably going to stop the recording now and leave you all. Thank you so much for joining. I yeah, really appreciate everyone coming. If anyone has any feedback or any further questions, do please get in touch. Thank you very much.